Hello, Internet! Look at this shiny in-game footage. Thanks to Bjorn for helping me out using his capture card to help me record these games, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through my Nugget Bridge Invitational games. Now, just as a sort of an introduction, a precursor, I suppose, I've got a decent, well, actually a pretty good record with Nugget Bridge Invitationals. In 2013, I came third, losing to the eventual champion. Last year, I won it, I came first. This year, I was feeling pretty good. I used my, Lipa team, my world's team, basically. Didn't change anything up, didn't do anything different. Although, this tournament is probably the tournament that I was least sort of mentally fit for, I suppose. I didn't really want to play the games at this weekend. I mean, not that I can really complain about that, because you've got so many other people in the same tournament, but I've got so much stuff going on. These games, I made some very rash moves, some very some very impatient moves, I guess, as well. But we're just going to look through the games, see how they went. My first opponent here had a pretty standard-looking team with an Entei, which has sort of gained in popularity now. But let's start playing it. Let's see how we go. Listen to that in-game music. Well, I can do the whole pausing thing as well, let people appreciate it. So, all right. So he leads with his Thunderous and Entei. I lead with my Lipa and Thunderous, which is, one of my favourite leads. I'm not going to say that I lead with these two every game, but they have become one of my most common leads. They really have. I don't want to go for a fake out on first turn. I just want to go straight out for some damage. People do often assume that Lipa will use fake out and try and play around that, and sometimes it is best just to go straight on the offense. With a pair like Lipa and Thunderous here, you can really do a lot of damage. Now, this, like I was on about with impatient moves and not really thinking things through, this first turn I go for a double target of Fake Tears and Thunderbolt, and you don't know which one I'm targeting yet. Maybe I should have targeted the Thunderous, because a Fake Tears and a Thunderbolt normally does one-shot all Thunderous. Some might survive just, the really bulky ones. Entei, Assault Vest is quite common on there, so a combination of Fake Tears and Thunderbolt, there's a decent chance of it having that Assault Vest. There's a decent chance of it not knocking it out. There's a decent chance of me being really behind in this game from turn 1. But, let's see. It's a funny little sound, isn't it? I target the Entei there. Now, he uses Swagger, so we can see what kind of a game this is going to be. We both lead with our Thunderous. We've got prankster moves going on straight away. If he knew that this was what I was going to do, basically go for the Fake Tears and Thunderbolt, then Swagger really was his only play of preventing it. So, I suppose there's that, but maybe he just wanted to annoy me. Maybe he just wanted to start rolling the dice. So, straight away we can see what kind of game this is going to turn into. I'm not feeling too bad, because I normally think that my team can kind of out RNG other teams, because I've got my two pranksters. I can encore things. I can do all that kind of stuff. Like, this team is all about controlling teams, so I like to think that I'll win the RNG battle, but RNG is RNG, isn't it? Anything can happen. This turn though, my Thunderous does get his move off, and the Entei does go down. After I targeted the Entei, my heart was in my mouth, you could say. I thought, wow, I've just thrown this game away straight away. But no, the Entei goes down. I did target the Entei. You can see a bit of swag coming out here. I did target the Entei because I saw on the team preview that my Sizzle had a very good time against his team if I could get rid of his Entei. So getting rid of that Entei basically means that I'm pretty happy in the back. And in the front, and in my face, and in my legs as well. But, stop trying to be funny, Barry. But, what I could have done is try to play this a little bit safer, because my Thunderous is confused now. I could have withdrawn my Thunderous into Scizor maybe, or I have got Terrakion in the back as well. But I suppose this is another sign of impatience, a sign of just wanting to get the games done with, which isn't it's not a good sign, is it really, when you're going into a tournament where you've got potentially 6 rounds. But I keep the Thunderous in, and he starts swaggering again. My Lipid actually avoids that one, but my Thunderous hits itself in confusion there. I'm pretty sure that that was a double target. Oh no, it wasn't. It was yeah, well it was a double target onto his Thunderous, but not with a fake tears. I just wanted to get a foul play off there, just because I thought a foul play would put it into Life Orb Thunderbolt range. Looking at the damage there, it might not have, but that was my thinking behind that. He, for some reason, decides to start calm minding up in my face, probably thinking that I would be confused, Lipid would be confused, and I might not, be able to get the Encore off. So this is really, a bit of a shaky game, isn't it? I mean, you can see that there's lots of reliance on RNG, from his side, and I guess from my side as well, to not hit myself. But the next turn, he goes straight for the swag onto the Lipid. The reason I'm not switching my Terrakion into these, obvious swaggers is because, and I do have the Lumberry, is because, okay, like he swaggers me on the switch in, I'm sitting at nice +2 attack, he can just do it again the next turn, so I need Terrakion to come in safely, so I've got the guaranteed turn to, not be confused or not be paralysed, so that's why I'm not switching Terrakion in, and I'm not switching Scizor in just because I know that it does have a good time against this team, and I don't want any chip damage on it, basically. But all these rubber duckies, we're a bit confused here. Thunderous hits itself. He goes for another Calm Mind because he's locked into it at this point, isn't he? I've encored him now. I'm pretty sure I was just going for a Thunderbolt onto the Thunderous, and probably just a foul play onto the Thunderous as well. But Lipid hits itself as well, so no mileage in this turn. Okay, that must have been a fake tears. It must have been a fake tears and a Thunderbolt onto the Thunderous, just because Lipid moved first. So, there we go. He knocks out the Thunderous, and gets another Calm Mind up. So, you can see how this game's going. Unfortunately, I've lost my Thunderous. I've still got Lipid though, and Lipid is faster than his Thunderous, which is the good thing. I always like it when Lipid's faster, because it means I can get a foul play off first. It means that I can encore Thunderous into something, one of its priority moves. Lipid always has a nice time when it's faster than something. But I bring Terrakion out here. He actually shows Protect here, so obviously he's missing one of his moves. So all of this is really good information. Best of 3. It's always really good to gather information about your opponent's team. I go for a Rock Slide. Quite an obvious move, I suppose. Again, really good information here that the Cresselia has got the Key Berry, and Lipid does snap out of confusion. Foul plays into a Protect though. The good thing about that is that when Cresselia's Encore finishes, which I think is at the end of this turn, I've basically got a guaranteed Encore lock on him again. Yeah, because Lipid is faster than Thunderous. He can't swagger me to stop me doing that, basically. So that is locked into Thingy again, into Calm Mind again. I go for the Rock Tomb onto this Thunderous because I think that a Rock Slide won't knock it out. Rock Tomb is single target. It should do more damage. I don't really care about damage on Cresselia because I've got Scizor in the back. I just wanted to get rid of that Thunderous. The only reason why I might not have gone for the Rock Tomb there was just to, play the information game, just to not reveal it, basically. But I thought, well, my team's common knowledge enough now. People should know that I've got Rock Tomb on Terrakion. So I take the knockout. And at this point, I haven't quite got the game yet. I've got Scizor in the back. Now what I want here, because he reveals he's got Aegislash, what I want here is a situation where I've got Lipid and Scizor out, but I've got Terrakion out here, and I don't really want to risk Lipid getting knocked out. I don't really want any kind of Shadow Ball on the Scizor anyway, either. What I'm predicting here is let's just run through this. My Terrakion is doing nothing out here. I've got, all it's going to do is basically just sit in front of his Pokemon, Rock Slide, Fish for Flinches. It can't really do any substantial damage, so he doesn't really have any reason to knock Terrakion out. So I'm just going to leave it in there, Fish for some Flinches. So I think he is going to go for a Flash Cannon onto the Lipid, because if he knocks out the Lipid, and then I can basically, I can't Encore his Cresselia anymore, and he could potentially win the game from there, just because, you know, even a psychic from like a +6, you know, Cresselia will do, you know, a good chunk of damage. It'll probably 3-8 KO my Mega Scizor. So, you know, there's and he has got the Key Berry as well, bear in mind. So my knockoff isn't going to be doing too much damage, especially because he hasn't got an item anymore. So, I needed to keep Lipard safe. That was the #1 priority. I could not let Lipard go down. And so I thought, well, Scizor can come in on a Flash Cannon. That's not going to do too much damage. You know, it's not going to hinder me too much. Here I am fishing for flinches. Let's see how this plays out. His Cresselia flinches here, so that's just, you know, one Calm Mind just missed out on, so that's not too much of a problem. And he Flash Cannons a Terrakion here, which I think is probably, I would consider that, I mean, you know, it's always easy to say in hindsight, oh, that was a bad move, wasn't it? But that move is the one that sort of lost the game for him, I think, because I think he really needed to take care of Lipard there. So just a Flash Cannon on the Scizor, you know, it wouldn't have done much damage, but Terrakion is doing nothing there, apart from fishing for flinches. Because he's knocked out my Terrakion, I can safely bring Lipard back in, and at this point, I've definitely won the game. So, here's a Mega Scizor, Mega Evolving. This is the only Scizor, only Mega Scizor to ever compete at Worlds. So you're a famous Scizor now. And I can just foul play. You know, it's in Blade form. If he goes for a King Shield, I can just Encore it the next turn. And actually, does Cresselia's Encore finish here? Because if the Encore does finish here, then I would have had to have picked which one I was gonna Encore. I suppose, yeah, okay, I won the game either way, because I'm setting up with Scizor here. A +2 knockoff would, yeah, it does, okay. So +2 knockoff does knock out the Aegislash anyway, so, you know, unless it's like a super physically bulky one, which they don't tend to be. So I'd won the game anyway at the end, and he just forfeits. So that's game 1. The Thunderous game was quite fun at the beginning, wasn't it? So, so game 2's coming up. Thanks for watching this, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like it and share it, and you know, help my channel grow. It's always appreciated. Thanks a lot, guys, and goodbye for now.